Today's technology allowed music to become accessible on so many platforms. If you want to listen to the newest album releases, you don't have to buy CDs or wait for the radio to play it. Just download streaming apps on your phone and instantly listen to any song. Whatever you're in the mood for, you can get it with just a few clicks. Which brings us to one of the biggest and most popular audio streaming services in the world, Spotify. Known for their signature green color, the platform streams digital copyright-restricted collections of music, podcasts, and other audio content to about 320 million monthly active users. These users can either stream for free or upgrade to Spotify Premium, a paid subscription which offers music offline, commercial-free, and at better sound quality. As of September 2020, around 144 million users worldwide subscribe to their premium service to experience these exclusive features. Not to mention, Spotify users can also search, create, and share their own playlists on the platform. Whether it's for studying, sleeping, or working out, Spotify has you covered. All these thanks to the company's founders, Daniel Ek and Martin Lorentzon. In 2006, Ek and Lorentzon founded Spotify in Stockholm, Sweden. And as we all know, technology and the internet were becoming more accessible to the public during this decade. More people had the means to copy and share files online without having the right to do so. There were even websites like LimeWire and the Pirate Bay, specifically made to pirate files. You might have tried some of them too. Who wouldn't want a free movie or song after all? So it was only a matter of time for illegal online file sharing to threaten different industries. Ek and Lorentzon figured this out and decided to create a platform to legally distribute music online. Record labels and artists were persuaded by the idea after the growing piracy problem decreased their album sales. Streaming their music became a viable solution to this alarming threat. After much experimentation, Ek and Lorentzon finally launched Spotify in October 2008. The service was not initially made available to the public. You needed an invite to register to their free streaming service. Aside from this, Spotify also offered a paid subscription for an uninterrupted listening experience. Despite the $10 monthly subscriptions and the revenue from the ads, Spotify still lost $4.4 million in 2008. Thankfully, the company didn't give up from their first year. The following year, Spotify allowed the public in the UK to register instead of using the invitation-only policy. People were signing up to try out Spotify. More eyes shifted to the platform when Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, posted on his status, "Spotify is so good." This was after iLike, an online music service platform, chose MySpace over Facebook. If iLike wasn't going to partner with Facebook, they might as well move on to a different one, which is Spotify. Rumors of their partnership heated up as the Facebook founder publicly backed up the startup company with his post. In 2009, the streaming platform recognized the huge demand for their service, so they decided to reinstate the invitation-only policy. You'll need an invitation again if you want to sign up for their service. You might think this is a bit impractical after they lost millions using this scheme. Why limit the number of users, right? Well, it's because Spotify wanted users to pay before they get their services. Unless you were invited, you can either wait in line for a chance to sign up or pay the £10 monthly subscription. It all boils down to how much you want to stream music using Spotify. If you did get to register with an invite or queuing in line, your free account will not enjoy the same unlimited streaming perks as paid ones. You'll have to tolerate the limited stream count and the numerous ad interruptions, which would most likely push you to pay the monthly subscription instead. These restrictions played the people into paying for their premium package, which allowed Spotify to garner 1 million paying users in less than 2 years, while other services took at least 5 times as long to achieve the same thing. Spotify's immense growth became inevitable. In 2011, Spotify received a $100 million investment, which led to the much-awaited launch of their streaming platform in the US. They offered a 6-month ad-supported unlimited streaming period for newly registered users. Once this trial ends, US users will experience the same thing as the ones from Europe did. With the limited streaming hours and fixed number of plays per account, Spotify once again urged users into subscribing for their service. In turn, the number of paying users increased from 1 million in 2011 to 4 million the next year. That is 4 million paying ones out of the 15 million active users by 2012, and these numbers just kept growing. The demand for streaming services like Spotify revolutionized the music industry. From vinyls to cassette tapes to CDs, the music industry has tapped into another market: online streaming. This shifted our transaction-based involvement of buying music records to an access-based one of online streaming. This has become our way of patronizing music legally, while compensating artists and record labels. Every time we listen to a song, rights holders, creators, and artists receive royalties as their payment. Even if the listener owns a free account, artists still receive the fixed fee per play. However, famous artists like Taylor Swift and Tom Yorke have reservations against streaming services like Spotify. In 2014, Taylor Swift, American singer-songwriter and one of the biggest names in the music industry, withdrew her albums on the streaming service after negotiations between her team and Spotify didn't go exactly as she hoped. Her team proposed that users can only listen to her music if they were non-US residents or Americans with paid subscriptions, conditions in which Spotify CEO Daniel Ek both denied. If Spotify or any streaming service allowed artists to simply decide who can and can't listen to their music for free, this would create an unjust system for users. If you badly want to listen to an artist, you'll have to either pay for it or maybe move to another country. This may seem unfair to some, but the artist had a point. Taylor argued, "Valuable things should be paid for. It's my opinion that music should not be free." Free streaming services like Spotify changed the music industry, as we have mentioned earlier. There was no need to purchase music albums if you could listen to them for free. This free art undervalues artists, creators, writers, producers, and their work. Not to mention, artists were only getting less than a cent per play of their music. For someone as big as Taylor Swift, this royalty could amount to hundreds of thousands per month. However, budding artists with few streams barely get the worth of their music in this system, much less pay for the expenses of the songwriting process. This pushed Taylor to remove her albums, including Grammy Award-winning 1989, from the music streaming platform. What's ironic about this is Taylor released 1989 on Apple Music, a competitor to Spotify. Apple Music also provides free streaming to its users, but for a limited period, and small per-play royalty to artists. Their free trial basically employs the same payment system as Spotify's free streaming, yet Apple Music was able to play Taylor's new album on their platform. What's more, Apple was also acknowledged by Taylor in her tweet. "This is simply the first time it's felt right in my gut to stream my new album." Obviously, Spotify wasn't getting the same recognition from the artist as Apple did. Despite setbacks with Taylor, Spotify pursued to bring her music back in their service. Fans were desperate, and so was the company. After countless travels and meetings with her team, they finally got Taylor to bring her entire library back in 2017. Taylor said she brought them back for her fans, but maybe their meetings convinced her to think of streaming services in a new light. Yes, album sales were decreasing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that streaming killed the music industry. It was actually saving it. If artists directed all their work into producing CDs, they would most likely still be losing a huge part of their sales because piracy of their work comes easy in today's age. People can just get their music on illegal sharing sites for free. But with streaming services like Spotify, they are compensated rather than handing out free labor. This was how Spotify and other streaming services revolutionized the music industry. Music wasn't the only thing licensed to play on Spotify. They also had collections of podcasts or digital audio episodes which can be in the form of an interview, a monologue, or a spoken word discussion about any topic. Podcasts offer a way of sharing knowledge and personal experiences while connecting the speaker to his or her listeners. Its rising popularity led Spotify to join the podcasting industry in 2018. Podcasts became a hit on the platform with about 175% increase in listeners in less than 3 months. Spotify dug even deeper into the market when they bought numerous podcasting networks. Gimlet Media, Anchor FM Inc., and Parcast to establish themselves as the best audio streaming platform worldwide. This wasn't the only reason Spotify added these audio episodes into their system. Podcasts had the potential to increase Spotify's revenue through embedded ads and new subscriptions. Money aside, they believed podcasts helped engage the users by involving them in conversations they might find interest in. Whether it's politics, pop culture, or whatever you can talk about, the right audience will be there. This allows Spotify to retain and attract a bigger customer base, thereby competing with other streaming services like Apple Music, Tidal, and SoundCloud. Speaking of engaging content, Spotify acquired the Joe Rogan Experience, one of the longest-running podcast series, which ranked second as the most popular show on Apple Podcasts. This probably attracted Spotify to offer at least a $100 million exclusive licensing deal to the comedian Joe Rogan for this year. He will still continue the show the way he made it, but Spotify had exclusive rights to stream them. And they were smart to get Rogan on board. Shares of Spotify increased at least 5% just after Rogan's announcement, and the comedy talk show featuring guests with different backgrounds became the most searched podcast on the platform. Spotify continued attracting more people to register into their service. As of 2019, they dominated the global music streaming industry, controlling about 35% of the market share against numerous competitors like Apple Music, 19%, Amazon, 15%, etc. They remained as the go-to streaming application for over 320 million people across 92 markets. Not to mention, Spotify has one of the biggest online libraries with more than 60 million tracks and 1.9 million podcast titles to date. It would be impossible for you not to find something you like. What do you think of Spotify's business and Joe Rogan's deal? Leave a comment below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe.